You're watching the WPH Race for 8. We'll be back in 60 seconds for the finals here between Luis Moreno and Sean Lenning. Stick with us.
Working and working out takes a lot of energy. That's why I drink Zenergy. Feeling fantastic and looking good has never been easier. Science, extreme science for your active lifestyle.
Are you getting this, honey?
Oh, prime time. We are rolling.
All right, Mama's gonna bring it home. Mama's gonna bring it home. Okay.
Come on, watch this guy.
Oh, backwards!
Oh, don't. Oh.
It went into Bob and Carol's yard. Oh, no? Okay,
Yeah.
here it goes.
Oh, no!
Challenge your kids to be active and eat healthy.
All right, let's see what you can do. Let's go.
They might surprise you.
Let's go.
Search We Can for more ideas on how you and your kids can get healthy together.
You guys ready?
Little extended warm-up here for Luis Moreno and Sean Lenning as you watch the WPH Race for 8 finals as we get things underway here in Denver, Colorado, the Mile High City. The referee is Emmett Pichot. Luis Moreno is the third-ranked pro on the power ranking. Sean Lenning is ranked number 2. I don't know how that disrupts if Luis wins his back-to-back final here. Does that put him at number 2 or number 1, Dave?
Well, we'll have to crunch those numbers, and I'm not sure right now. Now, you have to remember, Luis Moreno losing points from the LAAC. He's losing 6 points. Charlie Shanks losing just 2 points. So I believe Charlie Shanks will stay at number 1 by 2.5 points if Luis is to win this match.
But Sean will actually gain some points.
Currently ranked second
No,
in the
Sean
world.
won't.
If he wins.
Washington,
No,
Sean Lenning.
he'll stay the same because Sean Lenning's defending 10 points from the LAAC, so he'll stay at the same exact amount if he wins this.
3 games to 15, win by 2.
You heard the announcement from our referee, Emmett Pichot.
0-0.
Score 0-0. Big shout out to the Houston Handball Club as well as the Alaska Handball Club watching this broadcast live at racefor8.com as Luis Moreno gets the first one in.
Second serve.
And Dave, I hate to interrupt one of your shout outs because I know how much you love giving them, but I am a lines judge in this match. It's been official, so if you see my thumb going up and down, that's for that reason. If you see my middle finger going up and down, that's because you've said something that I didn't like.
Serve.
Okay, thank you for the table of index. Now I know what all the pantomime means.
Yeah, we'll play that again.
Oh, that's not going to be happy with Sean.
No, I don't agree with that call at all.
Now, where's your finger at on after that play?
No, it's the middle one.
Okay.
Actually.
I thought that was all about me.
Huh. Now our referee's kind of in that same ballpark actually as you. It's not
2-0.
Not a great park to be in.
You guys are cracking this ball, Dave.
A lot of power right now.
You know, my shout out mentioned Alaska. Well, they're at Jim Arlington's house.
Oh.
Watching this, and I say they, I mean everybody in Alaska.
0-2.
And I know Mike McRae is watching at home, watching at Jim Arlington's, and you know, these guys still have not hit a ball as hard as Mike McRae. Mike McRae clocked at 94, which is the fastest we've ever seen.
Well,
Second serve.
I name dropped McRae when Jake Plummer was in the booth here.
Yeah.
Said, Jake, you can't throw a football as far
1-2.
as Alaska Mike can. And
On
he
his
already knew.
knees.
He knew who Mike was because he's already heard about it.
I think it's a fair fight if Mike McRae is throwing from his knees and Jake gets a running start.
Now, Dave, look at these guys both going to the roof.
While you announcers cursed him.
I did.
Sean's got an amazing ceiling game, Dave. I mean, he's not given a lot of credit for it, but you cannot play the roof game with Sean Lenning. He's just a master at it. He pins you into the corners,
Second serve.
and there's really nothing you can do. Dave, this is as good as Sean's looked against Luis, and that could be an avoidable.
Check it.
This is as motivated, I think,
2-2.
Dave, as good a body language as we've seen from Sean playing Luis in, I think, Dave, about a full season.
I agree with you.
You know, we've seen Sean look almost listless when he plays Luis. Sometimes
Sharp.
because, you know, he's spent
Second
having
serve.
made it all the way to the finals, and other times it just seems like he doesn't like playing Luis. And I think every player has a guy out there that they just don't like playing. They don't like their ball. They don't like the way, you know, the positions they put him in on the court.
That's a nice reverse right there from Sean Lenning. Straightens it out.
And this isn't, Dave, like boxing where Floyd Mayweather can just choose his scrub of the year to fight. I mean, these guys have to play the best.
Wow, look at that shot right there from Luis Moreno. That was an unbelievable power
2-2.
shot. Look at the fans in this gallery trying to get just a little glimpse of
Second
these
serve.
superstars, Dave. Look over to your left. Isn't that unbelievable?
It's a great atmosphere here, Dave. And Luis thrives in these kind of atmospheres, Dave. He says, this is why I do those 10-mile runs every morning in the
3-2.
desert, climbing the mountains at Sabino Canyon in Tucson. This is why I play 9, 10 games of practice after I do those 10-mile runs. He said, look, I didn't become a champion because I show up at these tournaments
4-2.
and give it my best effort. I became a champion at 6 in the morning, 7 days a week.
Well, Luis put some chains on an old car and went out to the desert, and I sat in the car and he pulled it through the sand. That's what he does to get in shape.
Well, or what he calls Wednesday.
2-4.
Luis goes with a mystery ball there, Dave. I think you might have taught him that shot. That hit 4 walls. Here's a fly kill opportunity.
Luis is just crushing this ball, and Sean's going to have to call a timeout here, Dave.
Hard to judge
4-2.
Sean's conditioning here. He hasn't played a lot of long rallies or hard matches. Luis did have a very difficult match this morning. Luis just threw a huge hop on that, Dave, and don't know if you could see that on the monitor, but that ball took a left turn at 90 degrees.
I actually saw it better, probably,
Oh,
on the
okay.
monitors, right down the gun barrel.
Two 5.
Now Sean's talking to himself just like he did up in Alaska.
5-2.
This is the reason why I think these players, Dave, need to call a timeout, because when Luis gets up there fast into the server's box, he's into a rhythm. You just have to call the timeout.
But Dave, you only have 2 timeouts in a game to 15. I mean, you can't just call a timeout every time Luis hits an ace serve.
Okay, we'll lose 15-2 then.
That's what I do.
Hold it.
You know, Dave, Luis is a little bit like Mariano Rivera in his prime. You know what's coming, but you can't do anything with it. He's just going to hit the same ball 95 miles per hour with both hands, and it's up to you. Can you react to it? Most people can.
Mariano announced his retirement
2-6.
today.
That was sad, actually. Fortunately, here in handball, Dave, we have
Second serve.
Luis Moreno for another 10 to 15 years, I would say, at least.
No.
And now, Dave, with this amazing new senior tour, maybe even longer.
I don't think so. 3-6.
Sean left that way up in the left corner. And Sean usually doesn't miss that back wall to front wall flip, Dave, but he just mishit that a little bit, didn't put the right spin on it. Luis is really struggling with his serve down the right now. He's coming under it, and he's lifting the ball a little bit too much. The ball's coming way off the back wall.
They're just cracking this ball. Sean is completely gassed right now. He just cannot move, Dave.
Yeah. Well, this is what Luis does to you. Even guys that are the fittest guys in the sport, he puts so much pressure on you with every shot that he hits. You literally feel like you can't breathe after every rally.
Yeah, but you hear what Luis is doing? He's actually yelling at himself right now for not putting the ball away. Sean's done.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to throw in the towel right now. And Luis is intimidating Sean by grunting in the service box like an animal, a wild beast.
Well, this is what former legend Dave Wolvington was famous for, the Wolfman. Dave, he would actually be growling in the server's box, and maybe Luis has taken a page from the former Tucsonian's playbook, as he's now intimidating Sean Lenning by literally growling. I mean, Dave, he sounds like a rabid dog before he serves.
Well, I'm impressed by how hard Luis is hitting this ball and how Sean is able to continually get to these finals. Now, we had some rumblings here at the stadium where some people said, you know, we think it would be better if we just got rid of Luis and got rid of Nadia Alvarado.
Yeah.
Then everything would be just completely fun here at these pro stops, because in the finals they're able to blow through these guys.
Well, I think you need to add Alan Garner, and if no Alan Garner, then no Luis, because Alan's the only guy that can beat Luis. And then it becomes kind of an interesting dynamic in the tournament if they're matched up. But otherwise, Dave, it's pretty much the Luis Moreno show.
Now, I'm not saying that we should get rid of Luis. I'm just saying that there's been some rumblings from the players. And it's really intimidating when the players come up to you all at one time, just hover right around your desk. And for me, it was eating a big double Whopper with cheese when they came and started hovering around, but that's nonetheless, let me digress. It's intimidating when they all say, we're not going to play at the next stop unless this guy isn't allowed in the tournament.
Amazing play there from Luis. Sean caught his win there, but Luis just hit two perfect shots coming out of the timeout.
9-3.
That ball just over the line. And the style of play between these two, it's so fast that the difference between Charlie Shanks and Luis Moreno and Luis and Sean is the fact that Charlie would go to the roof and he'd slow it down with lob serves. Luis is ground and pounding with Sean, and he knows he can win this style of game.
Luis still struggling with the serve down the right. He's trying to establish that serve down the right side, but he hasn't been able to locate it. He's had a lot more success serving down the left with the reverse. You know, Dave, Sean's style has changed quite a bit in the last couple of years. Since he hurt his shoulder, Dave, he actually doesn't hit the ball quite as hard. He has the power when he needs it, but you see his serve, Dave, he serves at about 60%, as opposed to Luis Moreno, who serves as hard as he can with every serve, and that's what Sean Lenning used to do.
That's going to come way off the back wall. Luis lets it drop. And even though Sean is losing this 3-10, he'd still destroy a lot of other players.
Oh, yeah.
The elite players, even in the condition he's in right now.
Sometimes, Dave, Sean's more dangerous when he's tired. He'll go for even crazier shots and make them.
4-10.
Sean's got 2 straight points after he took that timeout.
Oh, that's an amazing shot from Luis. Sean has to be frustrated with himself there. Had a big opening to win that 5th point, and Luis slides in on one knee and ends the rally.
Short. Second serve.
And Dave, how frustrating is that? A second serve ace. The second serve was supposed to be, back in the old days, Dave, a ball that you just sort of put in play.
Now Sean serving here at 4-11.
4-11. Short.
That's a good call. No appeal from Sean.
Second serve.
Big setup here for Luis. And Luis doesn't need to take any chances, Dave. He hits it right at Sean as hard as he can hit it with about 1.5 feet of break on it. And even Sean, with some of the best paws in the sport, can't handle it.
The score is now 12-4.
12-4.
Sean took a beautiful cut at that return. That ball set up on the right side wall, and Sean Lenning just let loose.
4-12.
Sean with an off speed. Dave, would you call that like a slider?
Yeah.
5-12.
Almost tried to do it again, but missed it.
Flat rollout, Dave. Luis Moreno moving to his left, uses the momentum and takes the ball into the left corner. And I say 2 inches high. No, that was 0 inches high. That's a broken ball. Actually, the first, Dave, I think we've seen in this entire event. I can't remember seeing one.
I saw one earlier. If you would have actually followed the broadcast schedule and worked the hours that you were supposed to work, you would have been here more often, which you would have maybe witnessed more of these.
I probably could have seen a lot more. You're right.
I find it odd that the handball players get upset when there's a broken ball, like, oh, the ball's not created right.
Yeah.
But I think we should actually have the newspaper down here. The Associated Press should be writing a story. I mean, after all.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because I think what you're referring to is a movie. But how do you think the Major League Baseball players would like it if there was a bunch of yarn out in the outfield and they're trying to throw out? I mean, I know it's a great script in a movie.
I haven't said anything
I
yet.
just don't. Yeah, I jumped the gun though.
But when you knock the cover off a baseball, they write stories about you. They put it in magazines.
Yeah.
Okay?
I just don't know how happy Josh Hamilton would be chasing around some yarn out in center field.
Okay.
Yeah. He might be happy about it.
Now we're back.
Short.
And Dave, it'll take a couple of rallies for this ball to warm up. These are incredible handballs, but it takes a couple of minutes to get them warmed up, and then they actually stay lively for about 3 matches.
Well, until they break. And we've only seen 2 of them.
Well, I know you want to make that distinction. I've only seen 1, since I gave myself quite a bit of time off this weekend.
Without pay.
Huh.
Just thought I'd finish the sentence. And then
Sean,
Sean floors a ball when he's serving. That would have put him at 6-12 and within striking distance.
And now all of a sudden, Luis Moreno's serve not so dominant. Sean's had some good looks. And if Sean can equalize, neutralize Luis's serve, we'll see a competitive match here. Of course, Sean will have to do better than that with his serve, Dave.
12-5.
Well, Sean was going for it. I think if he would have left his feet, he probably would have got it. But
Dave, that was a 35-foot fly kill rollout from Luis Moreno. Luis stays on top of that ball with an open stance, breaks over it by using his wrist,
13-5.
and keeps that ball down perfectly. Sean made no move for that serve, Dave.
Well, it was short. I hope not. And here it is. Game point, 22-minute game, and Sean just lets him take it. That's Sean's version of throwing it in the towel. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in 3 minutes. Stay here for more continued coverage of the Race for 8 at racefor8.com.
Rethink what you know about this Vegas icon. Elevate your expectations at the Stratosphere Hotel, Casino, and Tower. See what's new, up, down, and all around.
At shelters, you'll discover healthy and loving animals just waiting to become a part of your family. Why wait? You can make a difference in the life of an animal. A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person and adopt your new best friend today. To find out more, visit theshelterpetproject.org.
My name is Bruce Fabrizio. In 1975, I invented Simple Green based on 3 principles. It had to be safer to use, it had to work, and it had to be completely made in America. From generation to generation, Simple Green has been cleaning everything from car engines and tools to kitchen counters and floors. No matter what you clean, indoors or outdoors, clean it with non-toxic, biodegradable Simple Green.
So, what's it gonna be? We could ride bikes, skating, movies, zoo, whatever you guys want to do.
Can we just do this?
Yeah. We could just do this.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
Working and working out takes a lot of energy. That's why I drink Zenergy. Feeling fantastic and looking good has never been easier. Science, extreme science for your active lifestyle.
Are you getting this, honey?
Oh, prime time. We are rolling.
All right, Mama's gonna bring it home. Mama's gonna bring it home. Okay.
Come on, watch this guy.
Oh, backwards.
Oh, don't. Oh.
It went into Bob and Carol's yard. Oh, no? Okay, here it comes.
Challenge your kids to be active and eat healthy.
All right, let's see what you can do. Let's go.
They might surprise you. Search We Can for more ideas on how you and your kids can get healthy together.
I think they've stopped playing, so they're done. Come on! There they are. I just need to yell that. Where's Luis, Sean? Well, you're serving. It doesn't show up in 15 seconds.
Back in Denver, Colorado, referee says that if Luis doesn't show up in 15 seconds, Sean will be serving the second game after he served first. See, now Luis just lost his serve.
I know you don't want to be like that. But it's a possibility.
This is the Race for 8. Now, we have seen it already in a final where Luis lost a timeout.
How long do they get between games? Ready? Not going to do it? Well, you got to go by the rule book.
Luis does not even have his gloves on.
Short every time.
You should be assessed a timeout, not lose a serve, right, Dave?
No, according to John Bike, if you're late, you lose the serve, and then for every minute, your opponent gets 1 point. We saw that in Seattle.
So Sean Lenning will be serving then. So
0-0.
Sean said, I don't want to do that, but he's doing it. So
This is the Race for 8 finals.
That's the second error that Luis has made with his overhand left.
Well, it's the second error of the second game. First one was not showing up on time. Now Sean's leading 1-0, and he should have just been returning the serve. But I don't like to dwell on things, and you know how I am.
You're one of the best I've ever seen at putting things behind you. That's a shot that Sean usually makes, as unorthodox and low percentage as that seems. That's really Sean's shot.
1-1.
We're all together. Man, that ball cut back. Sean almost overran it.
Luis goes with a fist there.
That should be played over.
No, I disagree.
No, I disagree with you.
No.
Well, the referee agreed with me.
Just a terrible call there.
The score should be 1-1. I don't think it's terrible at all.
Yeah, I'd like to see the replay.
That was a safety hinder from Sean.
No. We're going to check out that replay at our next timeout.
Well, I hope not.
Well, I know you hope we don't, because you're going to look silly. I, on the other hand, will be validated, and you will apologize. Oh, nice shot there from Sean.
Sean threads the needle right there with that left hand.
1-1.
Sean wearing his yellow jersey.
Another great shot there from Luis.
1-1.
That's that hard paddle kill, and it's so effective, Dave, taking the ball out of the air because you're using the momentum of the ball, and you just smack it with a stiff wrist, keeping that wrist parallel with the floor if you can.
Nice shot from Sean. Keeps that ball down.
Luis wastes an opportunity there. He knows he didn't hit the sidewall deep enough.
1-2.
Dave, I know you don't like certain things like this, but if you were winning one of these big matches and the fans were beating on the glass, would you like that? If you were winning and they were doing it for your favor after making a great shot, is that something that will feed you and make you play harder?
I think yes, I would like it.
Oh, Luis is very upset right now.
We saw Luis arguing some strange calls against Charlie Shanks, Dave. I mean,
I don't think that was strange. He felt like he wanted to take a long swing, was unable to do so. I mean, you see he turned immediately around to the referee saying, I mean, I want to take my shot here and I don't want to hit this guy. It is kind of scares you a little bit. You think you're going to get hurt.
Perfect shot from Sean. And now Sean Lenning's got some life.
3-2.
Remember, Dave, Sean scored just 9 total points in their final in Alaska. So far today, Dave, he's almost at that number just in the beginning of the second game. He scored 6 total points.
2-3.
Luis Moreno is outscoring Sean Lenning 3-1 in this match, 18-6.
That's amazing. The crowd likes that. Sean went in there and just did this little cut dive paddle re-kill where he just pops it really quickly and the ball hits the front wall and then has a wrinkle on it. Now Luis is starting to overhit the ball, Dave. And I see a momentum change here with Luis. Seems to be a little bit out of breath, and Sean is making the sharper plays.
4-2.
4-2.
Short.
If Sean can locate that serve, Dave, he's going to get a lot of opportunities.
Second serve.
Sean will go for it on the second serve sometimes.
Not sure I've ever seen Sean serve that. And look at the weak return that he gets.
You get it?
I don't think Luis got that.
Cool. 5-2.
This is part of Emmett Pachot's one-man review, and now Luis might have to call a timeout if Sean continues to just do what he's doing with these serves.
6-2.
Like you said, when Sean gets tired, he actually becomes more dangerous. And look, what happens with him is he calms his body down and he does these really controlled slide hops and reverses that are just unbelievable. He puts all of his energy into the spinning his wrist and less of his energy in his arm strength And it results into some amazing hop serves.
Well, Dave, this is what Sean Lenning does to everyone else on the tour. We just haven't seen him do it to Luis Moreno. And by that, I mean putting together these unstoppable runs.
Well, this is a 6-0 run at the moment.
And this is what happens, Dave, with Luis when players start playing with him and he feels like he's in a real dogfight. His game changes a little bit. And we saw that with Charlie Shanks today.
Ooh, that's a toughie.
No, that's a good call.
Oh, it's a good call.
Yeah.
But Sean earned that call by hustling back. And if he wouldn't have hustled back, he wouldn't have got it.
Sean is just ripping over the top of that ball with a huge reverse.
Yeah, that's so tough. And he's taking 40% off. So look at that. It's a natural hook that sets this up for Sean, trying to do a power pass. Wow. See how low he gets to the ground? His knee is almost touching, and by the time he pulls through with his follow-through, he's back up on his feet again. I mean, he comes down there and almost grazes the ground before he comes back up. Luis played that perfect. He knew Sean was going to power punch that.
You talk about body control. Luis had it perfectly there with that right-hand kill. That's the wrong shot. And you see a lot of players, Dave, lack the discipline to not go for that shot because you feel like for that split second, I can kill this in the right corner, but you really can't. That's literally a 1 in 50 shot.
Now 9-3.
9-3.
And there's that reverse down the left that Sean did locate.
10-3.
And you see Sean just clear out of the way. Still made a play for that return, but just too much heat on it.
3-10.
Wouldn't this be about a good time for Sean to take a timeout? I mean, he's got a couple of them. And if he took it now, he only has to go to 5 points. This might give him that energy he needs.
Well, it all depends on how he's feeling physically. Doesn't look to me, Dave, like he's tired right now.
I like that shot right there. I love it. Sean Lenning turns his feet really quick. That shows you that he's not as tired as he may look.
Well, he doesn't look tired to me right now. He looked exhausted in that first game. Well,
timeout.
That's a smart call right there. Now going down the stretch, he has 5 points to get to push this into a tiebreaker. And the crowd down low, very quiet when Sean Lenning steps out. Sort of not wanting to jinx him by talking to him. I mean, look how many people are downstairs, Dave, and upstairs it's even more ridiculous. You're watching the WPH race for 8 as Sean Lenning is making a furious comeback here in game number 2. Found himself down pretty big in the first game, never could quite get his game together. Now here in game 2, he's up 10-4 against Luis Moreno, trying to get 5 more points to force this into a tiebreaker. And he's playing lights out. Luis Moreno looked like he lost a little bit of his legs there midway through the second game, and we'll see if he can.
Well, Sean, Dave, is doing
back
to Luis what Luis is accustomed to doing to his opponents, which is amazing serves and then just absolutely incredible rally-ending shots.
10-4. Sharp. Second serve.
That's one of Sean's best shots.
I don't know how Sean's able to readjust like that without looking forward and still almost get it.
4-10.
We saw Luis come back from a 4-10 deficit in the tiebreaker against Charlie Shanks. And Dave, you had to have thought that match was over when Luis was down. Oh
wow.
My gosh.
Are you serious? That goes on the highlight reel. I didn't even have to see that hit the front wall. That went around Luis, and you knew instantly that it was down. And the crowd loves it too.
10-4.
That was an amazing shot.
That was one of the greatest I've ever seen.
And Luis gets that back. That was even equally as great. Sean goes and dives in and gets it back, and the crowd loves it here. in Denver, Colorado.
That was absolutely phenomenal, Dave. Both guys looked like they ended the rally there 3 times. And Sean diving, re-killing.
And he does it again.
And Dave, not only is this great for Sean Lenning, but this is great for the Race for 8 Tour to see Sean feeling it against Luis Moreno, a guy that seems to have had his number for the last year and a half, 2 years.
Where's Sean getting this energy? He was dead to the water in the first game.
Well, Dave, I believe, as we see Luis call his first time out, I believe that in this altitude you get winded, but you can recover also. And I think Sean has recovered. He's got a second wind.
Now look at the crowd this time. Sean called the timeout previously and nobody said a word. Then they go in there and they had some of the most incredible gets we've seen all season. And they come out and give him the standing ovation in the bottom bracket, the bottom gallery. Upstairs, though, they're just standing like sardines up here trying to catch the major show court that we have here at the DAC. Unbelievable play by both players, Sean and Luis, but unfortunately for Luis, Sean's got the points. Now at 12-4.
Well, this is a complete reversal of game 1, where it was Luis who did this exactly to Sean Lenning. And now, Dave, it's Sean Lenning, who looks like Sean looks when he plays everybody else in the world.
10 seconds.
You can see some of the overflow gallery members here trying to peep down from the press box. Now, the players you just saw on the live broadcast, $1,500 per seat. Just a view from up here in the loft, we call it.
There he is.
And this is the press box VIP section.
Sean serving.
There's not one member of the crew up here on the side that did not drive a limo to this event today. And
Another
now
ace from Sean.
Sean's serves have really been the deciding factor, plus some great hustle, Dave.
Well, Sean just keeps you off balance with that serve. I mean, hard enough to return, and then he's waiting to pounce with a fly kill with either hand.
You see that huge hook that he just put on that last shot?
Sean will get that.
I was going to say for a second, Sean must be feeling it because he's flying all over the court right now.
Sean's got instincts, Dave, that I'm not sure I've ever seen before in handball, and it's evidenced by shots like that, and also that shot he hit around his back.
He did a stutter step before that last shot and rolled it out flat. It was like he was fooled halfway through there, or he just let it develop a little bit further, but that wasn't the normal stroke.
It's all right.
That we're all laughing now, but that's $35 in the Tahiti fund for both the referee and Sean Lenning.
That's true. Inappropriate reaction from a referee draws a fine.
Now, for those at home, we pull the referee aside after every one of their matches. We give him a critique, and it's not very good.
Well, fortunately, our referee is about as open-minded as you are, Dave, so it always goes well. He's just always interested in learning, becoming better at his craft, much like yourself.
5-13.
Score here is 5-13.
There's an ace serve from Luis. It's
6-13.
been 7 minutes and 20 seconds since he scored his last point, Dave.
Well, look at that serve.
Now he's got 2 points in 15 seconds.
Let me ask you this. Is Luis playing for the win here, or is he going to try to play for the first serve in the tiebreaker?
I believe Luis is going for the win.
Now, don't forget, Luis was supposed to serve first in game number 2, and he showed up late, lost his serve.
This could be one of those interesting matches where somebody serves first in all 3 games.
I don't know if you've ever seen that before.
But actually, Luis has already guaranteed that he would serve first in the tiebreaker, were this match to go to a tiebreaker. And Sean had that right in his wheelhouse, Dave. Looked like a perfect stroke.
If Sean gets that, he's serving at 14 to go into a breaker.
7-13.
You know, Dave, you're always taught as a handball player, never just hit the front wall first. The ball always has to hit a side wall and then the floor, or the side wall first or the ceiling first. But these guys hit the ball so hard with so much wrinkle, they can just hit the middle of the front wall and it's still an effective shot.
Dave, this match isn't over. Luis has now found his rhythm on that serve, and I don't know if Sean's going to get any of these back. He's going to peel this short. I think it could have been short.
You've taken one timeout. You have one more.
I'm actually a linesman, Dave, and I agreed with the referee there.
Wow, that's... When was the last time you agreed with this particular referee on anything? Okay, that was a long enough pause. Now, Luis, Sean's going to have to take a timeout. I mean, he's going to have to do it.
I saw good. One didn't see it, one agrees. 11-13.
Now Luis is just 2 points away from Sean Lenning. And Sean really was able to step into that. You can hear it from here.
That was Sean's hardest kill shot of the event. Look at Luis just unload on these shots. And Luis could have shot the corner there. Ends up putting it away.
Sean has to be mad at himself. He's trying to pass Luis and he just can't do it. And Luis is feeling it right now. He's at 11-13. And his serve, he has located it, I should say.
Great pickup there from Luis. Look at that shot.
Watch what Luis does here.
You just don't see these guys make errors, Dave. Particularly Luis Moreno, who's now on a 7-0 run.
Sean saying, are my gloves wet? Referee said no.
Does Sean have any timeouts remaining,
He
Dave?
does have one.
Okay. I think this might be the time for it. You don't want to let Luis catch you and possibly take the lead and then use it.
Well, the time was at 9-13 when he asked, how many do I have? And when you start asking how many, that means you want one. I asked how many before the game started when I played. And now Luis has tied it. Once down, 6-13. We're all together at 13. And
I believe it was 5, Dave.
Might have been 5, yeah. But also once down, 6-13.
Yes, that's true as well. I just cannot believe the level of play we're seeing here from both guys, Dave. This is amazing. A truly amazing handball.
Match point right here. Luis Moreno serving.
13.
Sean just has to be wondering what the heck happened.
Well, it was a combination of things, Dave. It was Luis Moreno catching fire and Sean Lenning losing his wind.
Could be it, and it is. And Luis closed it out with a crazy corner kill and takes down Sean Lenning. The last 10 points, I am told, only took 4 minutes. Unbelievable play from Luis Moreno. Wins another yellow jersey. And let's see if Luis addresses the crowd here like he did in Alaska. It's something that Luis has started to do recently. The fans aren't going away. They're just hanging out. Luis Moreno takes another yellow jersey home here in Denver, Colorado. After defeating Sean Lenning back-to-back tournaments. This one was exciting though, Dave.
Yeah.
I actually got that feeling there for a moment. Luis coming back, tied it at 13, went ahead 14-13, closed it out with that last final point at 15-13.
Well, Sean just did not have a lot of opportunities there when Luis got hot. I mean, Luis dictated every rally with just amazing serves. And then he followed it up with so much power and kills. And Sean did have a good look at the service return at 14-13. That ball popped off the revolving door, came way around, and Sean didn't do anything with it. He left a attempted kill shot way up, and Luis buried the first strike in the left corner to claim another race title, Dave. That's 7 altogether for Luis Moreno. I mean, Luis is completely now dominating this Race for 8 Pro Tour, and he is right now the hottest player on the tour.
Well, no doubt about that. Lenning was up in game 2, 10-3, and Luis Moreno came back to defeat him 15-13, outscoring Sean Lenning by the score of 12-3 there. Nice little 12-3 run at the end to get his yellow jersey. It has been a great exhibition of top elite level handball from the pros, and the senior guys tore it up here this weekend as well. Some great qualifier matches early, Dave. I want to thank Stan Wolpoff, as well as Stan Dunleavy, Sherwin Beck, Jake Plummer, as well as all of those in the Colorado Handball Association for stepping up to help bring the pros here to Denver, Colorado at the Denver Athletic Club. I want to thank our crew, Ashley Moeller, Lolita DeVincent, Abraham Montijo, as well as Veronica Green, our anchor back in the broadcast van, Linda Manning, and my good buddy here, David Fink.
And you're going to leave yourself out then?
Well, it sounds weird to do that.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and thank you then.
Oh, okay.
As a part of this broadcast team and team leader.
Okay, thank you for thanking me. We're going to say goodbye. It's been a great weekend, and we're going to have more handball action with more Race for 8 stops. Go to WPHlive.tv to find out the schedule. Until then, thanks for tuning in at racefor8.com. Good night.
My name is Bruce Fabrizio. In 1975, I invented Simple Green based on 3 principles. It had to be safer to use, it had to work, and it had to be completely made in America. From generation to generation, Simple Green has been cleaning everything from car engines and tools to kitchen counters and floors. No matter what you clean, indoors or outdoors, clean it with non-toxic, biodegradable Simple Green.
Are you getting this, honey?
Oh, prime time. We are rolling.
All right, Mama's gonna bring it home. Mama's gonna bring it home. Okay.
Come on, watch this guy.
Oh, backwards!
Oh, don't. Okay.
It went into Bob and Carol's yard. Oh, no? Okay, here it comes.
Challenge your kids to be active and eat healthy.
All right, let's see what you can do. Let's go.
They might surprise you. Search We Can for more ideas on how you and your kids can get healthy together.
My life is full of statistics. Thing is, I could have dropped out of school and become one myself, but I didn't because I had people that believed in me. Here's another statistic. 7,000 students drop out every school day. That's 1 every 26 seconds. It's time that students know that we believe in them.
Inspire a student and share your message of support at boostup.org.
Rethink what you know about this Vegas icon. Elevate your expectations at the Stratosphere Hotel, Casino, and Tower. See what's new, up, down, and all around.